All right, Robert, thank you for that. Now, you have heard the warnings. We told you earlier, millions of Americans will still be traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday. In fact, AAA of Southern California just telling us a short while ago this morning that millions were expected to head out on the roadways despite warnings from the CDC. Joining us this morning from San Francisco, California Surgeon General Dr. Nadine Burke Harris to talk more about what you can do to stay safe during the holidays. And good morning, Dr. Harris. We appreciate you being here.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
Can you begin by talking about this? We'll go with the latest headline out there that everyone seems to be focused on right now. LA County now ordering all restaurants to suspend their outdoor dining as of tomorrow night to try and get a handle on that surge in cases down there. Should this be sort of just like a blatant spotlight that tells us that this is now getting back out of control?
California has seen a 50% increase in our cases of coronavirus in the first week of November alone. So it really is a significant increase, and it's important for us to try to get ahead of it.
When you say get ahead of it, do many people out there believe, and we've heard comments from people saying, I'm doing all the steps, I'm taking all the precautions, I'm wearing the mask, I'm washing my hands, yet we're still seeing this surge. Is it, I mean, no pun intended, sort of out of our hands at this point?
Absolutely not. Our actions make a difference. And what we see is that, yes, washing hands, wearing masks, watching our distance is really critically important. But we're also seeing now, for example, that restaurants and bars are places where folks are taking that mask off to do eating and drinking. So there's increased transmission in those areas. And that's why we see some of the public health measures that are being taken now to reduce that.
Where does that rank? And I don't know if you can speak to this, but where does that, as far as taking the mask off when people are eating at restaurants and they're going out, even if it's outdoors, how does that rank in regards to people that take part in some of these large gatherings that we've seen videos of, people where there are several hundred people with no masks on? Are we talking about the same rate here? Is one worse than the other in your estimation?
Certainly, it's a much higher risk activity to attend a large gathering with hundreds of people and not wearing a mask. That's just about, one of the most high risk things that you can do. So we definitely want to make sure that, each of us has a really important role to play. And if we do want to keep our businesses open, if we do want to keep our communities safe and healthy, each of us playing our part by wearing that mask, watching our distance, and washing our hands is absolutely critical.
Do you think that it was even given more importance with this week with the announcement that Governor Gavin Newsom's family may have been exposed to the virus?
Well, I think that is something that certainly highlights how important it is that each of us have a role in keeping others safe, and the family is quarantining, which is exactly what we would recommend to anyone who is exposed to the virus.
How can the release of a vaccine coming up, as we're being told, possibly as early as next month, to some of the high-risk people that are out there, some of our first responders on the front lines, how big of a moment will that be just to get that first batch out there?
I think it will be very important to protect our healthcare workers, to make sure that we can shore up and stabilize our healthcare delivery system, to make sure that if any one of us gets sick, that there is someone there to take care of us. But I also want to temper expectations to recognize that it is going to be quite some time before the vaccine is available for everyone, for all of us. So it's great that it's coming out shortly, and that's very exciting. But we want to make sure that we're still practicing that public health guidance that's going to get us through until everyone can get vaccinated.
And that is going to require everyone, in your estimation, wearing those masks and continuing to do all of these things well into next year.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
All right, very good. And lastly, as people begin to make that preparation, and there are going to be people that are going to travel, they are going to be going to join their families. They're saying, we're hearing a lot of people saying, well, it's just a small gathering, even though it's in a different town. You're saying even in those situations, they still need to be vigilant when it comes to doing these things?
Absolutely. The holiday season is a time when people like to gather. But this year, we're asking to keep those gatherings small, to keep those gatherings short, to keep them outdoors, and to make sure to wear a mask, wash hands, don't share utensils or silverware, things like that, so that we can reduce our transmission.
All right, Dr. Nadine Burke, Harris, California Surgeon General. We want to thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning and sharing your insight. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure.
Have a happy Thanksgiving.
You as well. Happy and safe.